The rain hammered the rusted warehouse roof like a warning, but the crowd inside ignored it, laughing, shouting, pushing closer as the battered old chopper was rolled onto the auction floor. It was a joke bike. At least that's what everyone said. A pile of scrap metal barely held together by bolts older than half the men mocking it. But among them stood one man who didn't laugh. His name was Cole Maddox, a Hells Angels biker with a reputation for steel nerves and a scar across his jaw that told 100 unspoken stories. When the jeers got louder and the auctioneer nearly skipped the bike entirely, Cole stepped forward like fate tapping him on the back. He didn't know why, but something about that broken-down machine tugged at him harder than pride, louder than logic. It felt wrong. Wrong to see something once loved get laughed at like a wounded animal. If you believe in kindness, redemption, and second chances, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Your support keeps stories like this alive. As the room roared with disbelief, Cole lifted his hand, offering a bid so small it almost insulted the purpose of an auction. The others laughed again, the angels buying trash, but he didn't care. Within minutes, the gavel dropped, and the bike was his. No applause, no thrill of victory. Just silence inside him, as if he had picked up something heavy he didn't understand yet. He wheeled the mangled chopper through cold puddles to the outside lot, the rain washing years of dust off its gas tank until a faint emblem emerged. The world seemed to freeze around him the moment he recognized it, an old winged skull design once favored by Sonny Barger himself. Cole's breath caught. His heart thudded hard. The bike he bought wasn't junk, it wasn't a laughingstock, it was legacy, a piece of outlaw history lost, hidden, forgotten. Cole had grown up idolizing the legends, men like Barger who carved stories into the asphalt with grit and rebellion. He remembered being 15, patchless, aimless, standing outside a biker rally just listening to the engines roar like thunder gods. He remembered thinking that if he could one day live with half the courage those men had, he'd be more than the broken kid drifting through foster homes. And now here he was, decades later, holding in his hands something that once belonged to the man who shaped the very culture Cole pledged his loyalty to. It wasn't pride he felt. It was responsibility. It was a weight that pressed against old wounds. The next weeks became a silent pilgrimage. Cole locked himself in his garage, pushing aside all other obligations. The bike was worse than it looked. Cracked frame, stripped wiring, corroded pistons, missing parts that would cost more than he had. But he couldn't walk away. Every scrape of sandpaper, every bolt tightened, every drop of oil smeared across his hands felt like he was patching together pieces of himself. There were nights when he worked until sunrise, fingers trembling, mind drifting to memories he spent years burying, the brother he lost in a crash, the mentor he failed to save, the long, lonely road of guilt he never spoke about. People stopped by to question him. Some laughed, saying he was wasting time on a relic. Others whispered that he was trying to resurrect a ghost. Only one man understood, an older angel named Rocco who'd known Barger personally. He would stand quietly by the garage door, watching Cole with a gaze both heavy and respectful. He never said much, but one afternoon he murmured, almost too softly to hear, "Take care of it, kid." That bike carried stories. It wasn't approval, it was a blessing. Cole kept going. When he was exhausted, he kept going. When his savings dried up and he had to sell personal keepsakes, he kept going. And slowly, the bike transformed. The frame straightened. The chrome returned. The engine rumbled with a heartbeat reborn from the dead, until finally, one crisp morning, the restored chopper stood gleaming in a golden ray of sunlight piercing through the garage windows. Cole stared at it, overwhelmed. It didn't feel like a triumph. It felt like a reunion. Word spread quickly. Many doubted him. Others were desperate to see if it was true. So when Cole rolled into the next club gathering with the bike thundering beneath him, every head turned. Conversations died mid-sentence. Men who knew the history felt their chests tighten. Rocco stepped forward, palms trembling, eyes glassy with a reverence reserved for altars and graves. He ran a hand along the tank as if touching time itself. Then he looked at Cole with something deeper than gratitude, something like pride. The crowd gathered in a circle, muttering in disbelief. Some swore it couldn't be real. Others recalled old stories, comparing details, shaking their heads as emotion replaced skepticism. But what stunned them all wasn't the bike. Rare as it was Cole, the man who once kept to himself, scarred and quiet, now stood rooted with a humility that softened his edges. They saw someone who respected the past enough to carry it forward, someone who didn't do it for glory or attention. He had restored more than metal. He had restored memory, brotherhood, spirit. When Rocco placed a hand on Cole's shoulder and said the words, "You honored him," Cole felt something inside him release after years of being locked tight. He hadn't expected healing to roar like an engine, but it did. It filled him, warm and complete. The bike became more than a marvel, it became a symbol, a reminder that nothing, no person, no machine, no soul, is ever too far gone to be restored with care. The laughter that once mocked it turned into awe, and Cole, who once felt like a man drifting through shadows, stepped into light without realizing it. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Your support helps us bring more inspiring true-to-life stories to the world. Before the ending hits, comment below, what would you have done if you discovered the bike belonged to a legend? In the months that followed, Cole rode the chopper not as a trophy but as a tribute. Every mile he traveled felt like a conversation with the past, a whisper of those who came before him. And though Sonny Barger was no longer alive, Cole often imagined the legend looking down, grinning that famous half grin, proud that someone understood what the bike truly meant. Not rebellion, not fame, but loyalty, brotherhood, and the belief that even the forgotten can rise again when someone chooses to care. Cole didn't buy a mocked, broken bike that day. He bought a chance, one that repaired far more than steel, and through his hands a lost legacy roared back to life, reminding everyone who witnessed it that respect, heart, and second chances can turn even scrap metal into something unforgettable.